Welcome everybody to round 2, the final round of February 24th Gundam Card Game Night over at Bulldog Community Gaming LLC in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking to play some Gundam card game action, check out Bulldog Community Gaming LLC in Brownsburg, Indiana, Tuesday nights, 6:30, $5 entry. As well, if you guys can't come in to play that hot Gundam card game action, check the links down in the description below for Bulldog's Twitch and Facebook page where you can come join and watch the Gundam card game action live as it's happening. Again, Tuesday nights, 6:30. And for this round, we are seeing our red Justice Blockers with Providence going up against my round 1 matchup of green-white. I wasn't completely sure, but I believe it's green-white Breach. That's what they're playing here, is Breach with the top end, with a little bit of top end there with the Wing Gundam 0. So we have Justice Blockers with Providence versus Breach. So without further ado, let us begin. The left side player is going second with the right side player going first. They've already drawn their card for the turn and already set up their first resource. Most decks don't really have much to do after that first resourcing turn. So moving on now, we're going to go on to the right side player beginning their turn here. They do have the ability to do something here with, of course, if they drew into Overflowing Affection on the right side. On the left side, because that is a 1 level 2, meaning that you can play this on your first turn, allowing you to draw 2, discard 1, which is pretty nice little dig there for whatever thing you need. So we're going to have to figure out what's going to happen here overall. It looks like nothing there, so that's just going to be a pass, resourcing another one on the right side. It looks like we're immediately going to be able to just skip that over. The right side's not going to play anything, and then we're going to go to the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 coming down on the left side here, and then we're going to just do another pass. Ooh, wow, nothing much happening on the left side there. They just passed again, but again, they're breach heavy deck, so a lot of their guys need to be high cost levels. They start coming down. So we're going to go for another 𝐕𝐃𝐿 coming down as well. Then we're going to go for 4, and then it looks like we're just going to have what looked to maybe be a potential pass. No, we are going to go for the base that is going to be able to bounce back the 𝐕𝐃𝐿 here. That is the white base, I believe, from maybe set 2. I don't think it's a set 1 base. I think it's a set 2 base. We're going to bounce the 𝐕𝐃𝐿, and then we're going to go flip over to another base here to allow us to go and take another life as well, allowing us to bounce both 𝐕𝐃𝐿s back to the hand here. Again, I don't believe there's any limit to how many bases you can play per turn. I have yet to see that, but then again, I'm not a judge in the Gundam card game, so I wouldn't know if that's true or not. Or again, you guys can let me know that down in the comments. But anyways, getting rid of both those dices off the board does mean that it does reset the left side's board state here from not being able to use potentially both dices to kill here. But anyways, we're just going to drop both dices again. We do know they have the 𝐶𝐓 Fei on the left side. If they have they have Chang's main Gundam, they can go and then immediately start here. So yep, we are going to start off with the Shenlong. This is Shenlong Gundam, and then we're going to be able to breach over, swing in. It looks like we just immediately were able to block. Looks like we killed off one of the 𝐕𝐃𝐿, so the Shenlong effect is breach 4, and then on attack, it can kill a blocker here as well. Then 𝐶𝐓 Fei also states that when it's attached to a unit with breach, it doesn't take damage from I think 3 AP or less units, so it can't even take damage here from either of these 𝐕𝐃𝐿. So they could potentially just block, waste their blocking material, and then just straight up die. So that is the one problem that is now happening on the left side, is they had to deal with the fact that these Shenlong Gundam with the 𝐶𝐓 Fei basically is really dangerous to them. So we're just going to go for the 𝐕𝐃𝐿, killing it, and then hitting it with the close combat again. The 𝐶𝐓 Fei ability only activates on your turn, not on your opponent's turn. So he doesn't protect himself at all times from -3 from units with 3 or less AP hitting him in the face here. So again, we are playing a lot of breach heavy strategy. That is basically the name of the game on the right side of the board here. Again, like I said, the left side is on white-red Justice Blockers with the Providence. So we're going to have to kind of see what they want to do now. We do see Rick Dom in there that can do things as well as anything else. I mean, there's no base up as well. So again, you're kind of also wanting to be very protective because they do have the 3 resources standing, meaning that there is a chance for improved technique. We're going to go for the Dynas, and then we're going to be able to link it with Lock On, immediately being able to swing there, hitting just a card that doesn't really do anything there, and then a Rick Dom. I'm not sure what that one is other than just being a pilot. I know it's a set 1 card, but that's it. I've never actually seen anyone play it at all. I think it's a Zaft card. So anyways, we're just talking about the Gundam Dynamis. The Gundam Dynamis does constantly get the extra +2 AP on itself because of being attached to the lock-on there. Before the end of the turn, we are going to trigger Battle of Aces to hit the Dais for 2 damage there from the Battle of Aces there, allowing us to, of course, potentially kill it off. We're going to go for the Rerow, and we're going to ping that for 1 more, meaning that we do have the chance to go Battle of Aces, to kill off the Dais there. Good use of skills there to immediately kill it off. And then we're going to go for a Rift, which can't immediately be killed off by the 𝐷𝐷𝐿 here. Because again, the 𝐷𝐷𝐿 being 3 damage over instead of the Rift's 2 health, which has always been really nice with the Rifts, always had that extra health point over stuff that just can't get killed off here. A couple 𝐂𝐍𝐉𝐎𝐾 in the hand as well, so if they have another Shenlong, they could potentially go Shenlong again, kill off the Rift here. So we are just going to go Shenlong under the 𝐷𝐷𝐿, meaning the base just gets cracked here instead. So again, you can't really block with a Rift because the Shenlong takes no damage because of 𝐂𝐍𝐉𝐴. And then we're going to go for another Gundam Dynamis, and then the Zeta Gundam pilot. Forgetting his name as well. But anyways, under the Dynamis, I believe that came out in this set 3. So I believe that also has Breach as well. So as you can see, the deck is just Breach Turbo altogether. So anyways, they just put the pilot under there just to guard it against potentially getting hit in the face with, close combat into like close combat to close combat or anything like that. Just trying to protect yourself from getting murked up on the board state by, of course, the left side's ability to just create massive amounts of ping damage from all of their close combats, improved techniques, and Battle of Aces. So you just want to kind of stabilize out the board state here. It's very interesting, in the early game, it just looked like the left side player was having the right side player was having a really hard time finding anything. But now they've been able to stabilize the board state, which is really good for the fact of, just having to deal with it. But then again, now we're starting to hit the late game here where we're going to see starting overflowing affection. But again, the late game on the Justice blocker side with Providence means that we do have a chances of starting to see Providence and the Justice Gundam coming down with the Atherin potentially. So meaning that we do have those bodies coming down. The one problem we have is we have a breach deck running. We have a breach deck running around, meaning that it's more than happy to sacrifice its units on its turn because the breach damage always goes through whether or not the unit survives combat or not. So it's always a real fun thing about breach. I think it's a really fun mechanic. It definitely got some good support here with one of the new LRs from this set. So anyways, we're gonna go for the Justice Gundam coming down here, and then we're gonna make the OO token, allowing us to do that. Looks like we may not have an Atherin to play here as well. So if we don't, that means that the Justice Gundam can't block any or do any attacks here. But anyways, it doesn't really matter as well. The fact is, even if you have blockers up, the problem is even if they go for the block here, it's just going to be immediate death. Because again, even if you take the block, you still get the breach damage. Not mention the 𝐷𝐷𝐿 can't even take any damage from the 2 blockers because of Chang Wu-Fei's ability, because he's attached to a unit with breach attached to it. So, I mean, he kills either of these units for free, no damage back at him, and just basically still burns you for 1 card. So, anyways, we're going to go for a Justice Gundam, and then we're going to go for the Dais, hitting the Zaf base there, allowing us to get the top card of our deck there. I forget what the Zaf base does, but I don't think it does much in this game state here, because I believe there are no pilots or anything. We're going to go for Wing Gundam 0 here, meaning be able to kill off, 3 damage, by the way, on the Rift. They do point out that the Rift does take 3 damage there, and then both the Dynamis and the 𝐷𝐷𝐿 do have to take damage as well, because it does ping everybody's resources here, everybody's bodies here as we drop the Wing Gundam 0. All right, so very interesting little bit of play here that we have. I don't know if that was probably the best play, knowing that you have a Providence Gundam potentially coming down here, as we're going to go for the close combat, and also not maybe the best idea to go throw down in a deck strategy that also has the ability to utilize a whole lot of different ping cards like Battle of Aces and close combat and all that, as we see the Justice Gundam swinging in over the base, and then we're the Rift swinging over, and then we're going to go for the 𝐂𝐋𝐀 and being able to kill off the last card there. So there are no more breachers on this battlefield. So I think that might have been a real big misplay there on the right side player, instead of just maybe standing on their laurels here. Because again, if I think they stood on their laurels, there was no way for the left side to actually kill off their bodies here. They potentially would have had to burn close combat and then drop the 𝐂𝐋𝐀 there, which might not have been enough to kill most of the bodies off here. So yeah, as we're going to go for the Ultron here, and then we're going to attach to Chang Wu-Fei, which of course is the pilot for the Ultron. We're going to kill over the Rift there, and then again, the damage does not come through onto the Chang Wu-Fei there. We were able to immediately breach through the Zaft base, but I still think the Wing Gundam 0 wasn't the right play overall. The Wing Gundam 0 needs to kill the Justice Gundam here, because of the 𝐔𝐄𝐋𝐀 will kill you off. So anyways, we're just going to swing in for that. That actually should be 5 damage there overall. Unless the Ultron's effect. Yeah, okay, so they are getting it. So it should be 5 because the Justice Gundam does deal back 5. I didn't think the Ultron had the ability to reduce the play cost there. But yeah, I think that would have been a misplay. I think they technically had the game if they just decided to leave the bodies the way they were. I don't think they would have been enough to actually kill off all that, as we're going to go for another Zafta base here. Again, doesn't really have any effect to utilize in this case here. So anyways, we're going to go for the Providence with, of course, the pilot there, and that is pretty much just going to be the game. Unless there is a base that 𝐔𝐄𝐋 can hit, that is pretty much just it. I really think that, yeah, I think that the drop of that Wing Gundam 0, I think, really hurt the right side player. So anyways, we're just going to immediately be able to kill off the game state, and looks like we're just going to be able to, it looked like a trade of everything. So top 2 there, oh, there's still 1 shield left on that side. But so I guess the aspect, I thought that was an achievement, but I guess that's not it. So we're just going to drop a wing here, but that's not going to be much of that at all. So yeah, so it looked like the Providence, okay, so the Providence traded into one guy, used its ability to ping off another. So traded into the Ultron, killing the Ultron, and then used its ping ability to kill off Wing Gundam 0 here. So yeah, unfortunately, that's just not how it's going to be, and we're just going to drop Justice and Perfect Strike and then the OO tokens. So even though Wing Gundam 0 technically has high maneuver, so it can't be blocked, there's just no way to get out of this game state here, because Breach technically cannot kill you. So we're just going to drop for another base. We're going to bounce back that. We're going to grab the top card of our deck here, but it doesn't look like that maybe is going to be anything we could really utilize there. So yeah, I think honestly the Wing Gundam drop probably wasn't the play to go there as we drop. Oh, that's Freedom Gundam? Wow, I think that's the all-art Freedom Gundam. So very interesting to see that. I guess they're just hoping for a chance to do something, but even then, there's no way to stop all 3 of these bodies. I mean, the Freedom Gundam can only block 1, and that's really about it. I mean, it can only block a dude. So, yeah, I think, honestly, the play was lost once they dropped the Wing Gundam that turn and hit their own guys for the damage points. Oh, I guess they do have the base here, so they're going to let the base die for the 𝐔𝐄𝐋. They are going to be able to block out the Justice Gundam here. But then there's just no way to stop the Perfect Strike. But we did see they have Awakened Potential as well. So then we're just going to swing in, and that is pretty much going to be game, because Awakened Potential does not have the ability to win them out the game at all. But yeah, I think honestly, folks, I think what changed that game 100% was when they dropped that Wing Gundam, when they had the Dynamis and their Rick Dom on the board. I think if they had just kept those as normal, I don't think the opponent would have been able to retaliate against both. Then they could have dropped the Ultron and then potentially had pushed for the game state from there. But yeah, nonetheless, it was still a good game. I think Red-White Justice blockers with Providence, I think, squeaked out the win, because I think we had a misplay with dropping the Wing Gundam 0. But nonetheless, guys, you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments on the gameplay, on the decks. And while you're commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you can notify when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mom Dragons TCG.